Michael White, Noticing New York, and Citizens Defending Libraries. I'm sorry if I haven't had time to better prepare my remarks, but this administration's selling off of libraries, shrinking the system, selling off of schools, public housing, streets, avenues, sidewalks, the proposed rushing through of an increased density with the Midtown rezoning is a bit difficult to keep up with, and the proposed end of administration fire sales of everything that is public to the real estate industry is keeping us all very busy. The way I see it, there are three issues here. The very bad city land use practice of withholding basic city services in order to blackmail the community into bigger development. Willentis and Two Trees Dock Street project was here fairly recently. I was here for it. I spoke about it. That is the project with the famous smoking gun emails that involved city administration officials where they said that they were intentionally withholding a school from the community in order to provoke the community to approve bigger density for that Willentis project. Libraries should be provided funding simply because they should be provided funding. In terms of the city budget, they don't cost much. They're a pittance. Accordingly, a library in BAM South might be a good idea. It might be a good idea in terms of the original plan calling for such a new additional library simply because it was a good idea. It should not be linked to larger development. The scale of the development that should go forward should be only the scale that the community endorses, irrespective of whether there is greater development. Linkages only open the door to bait and switches, and I think you've seen here from the vagueness that those bait and switch opportunities are really here, and they are pretty typical of what happens. So they are impossible to regulate. Now, there should also be no linkage between putting a library in BAM South and continuation of the Pacific Branch Library. The historic Pacific Branch Library should continue to remain open and supporting the community absolutely, period, no matter what happens to BAM South. Library usage is up 40% programmatically, 60% circulation-wise. That's why we should have additional libraries, not fewer. And what's unreported is that the selling off of the libraries is shrinking the library system, giving up jewels that are irreplaceable, can't be replaced. And what's not reported is that that money doesn't actually go into the libraries, and that has not been worked out. There's no guarantee it will ever happen.
Thanks. Let me see if there are questions for you. Michelle Delos.
Michael, thank you for being here. I'm just wondering, given the data that you have here, what you've shared with the council about this and what the response has been thus far.
We basically find that this is a motherhood and apple pie issue when Citizens Defending Libraries talks to anybody. It is very hard not to understand what is going on. This is the big picture. Usage is going way up, continues to go up. The funding has been rather peculiar. You see there a blue line, that funding. The bump in it is when Mayor Bloomberg wanted his third term. The steep drop off is when Mayor Bloomberg decided to implement a plan to sell off the libraries. People understand that, and we get a very good reaction on it. I think it's going to be a major campaign issue.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks so much for being here.